need to talk about this long-running, messy rumor about Janet Jackson that just won't go away. Allegedly, she's hiding a secret baby back in the day, and now her ex-husband James DeBarge is speaking out again, stirring the pot and bringing all that old drama right back to the surface. Whether it's family secrets, love gone wrong, or just straight-up confusion, this story has layers, and we're peeling them back one by one. So here's the gist. Folks have been whispering for decades that Janet had a baby in the 80s during her quickie marriage to James, and allegedly that baby was hidden or given away. Now fast forward to today, and the convo is heating up again. People are asking, is James bringing this storyline back? Was Janet forced to give up a child while her career was just taking off? Are we finally about to get the real tea on this secret baby? One thing's for sure, Janet's man choices back in the day, questionable at best. Before she got with James, she was booed up with none other than Magic Johnson. Back in 1983 at the American Music Awards, there were pics of Magic, who was 24 at the time, hugged up and kissing Janet. And guess what? Janet was only 16. When those pics resurfaced in 2020, people rightfully started side-eyeing that whole situation. Not long after that scandal, Janet turned 18 and eloped with James DeBarge in 1984. And word is, Sis was trying to escape her very controlling father, Joe Jackson. Joe was livid about the marriage, but it didn't matter. Janet was out. Problem is, she ended up stepping right into chaos. James was struggling with addiction, and poor Janet was out here at 18 playing caretaker, hunting him down, trying to flush pills, and literally fighting this man in the house. Like actual struggle love. And all that drama was just the beginning. That's when the secret baby rumors really started swirling. Some say Janet got pregnant during that time and either gave the baby away or lost it. But if you ask Janet, she'll tell you flat out, there was never a baby, period. But, and it's a big but, people who were around back then swear they saw things that didn't add up. Fans and folks close to the Jacksons say they saw pics of Janet looking very pregnant, like 5 or 6 months along. One story even claims that during an award show, her brother Tito tried to block her stomach from the cameras with his jacket, but people still saw the bump. And get this, someone even claimed their aunt worked at a convalescent hospital where the Jacksons' grandma stayed and saw Janet come in looking definitely pregnant. She didn't know if Janet lost the baby or gave it away, but according to her, the bump was there. Now, if there's one person who truly believes that baby existed, it's James DeBarge himself. He's been on this hill since 2012, when he wrote a whole letter from prison to Michael Jackson's ex-doctor, Conrad Murray, claiming there was a child. He's still saying it to this day, that their child is out there somewhere. But Janet, in her documentary, she stood firm. She said there's no way she could have hidden a baby from Joe Jackson, and with how strict he was, she might actually have a point.
How could I keep a child from their father? I could never do that. That's not right.
So according to Miss Janet herself, all the pregnancy rumors started popping off back in 1984 when she was filming the TV show Fame. Now she says what really went down was that she started taking birth control pills, which back then were known to make people gain weight due to all that estrogen and progesterone. And of course, as soon as folks saw a little extra weight on Janet, the rumors started flying like, is she pregnant? But that little gossip snowballed into full-blown drama. Somehow people started claiming that Janet secretly gave birth to a baby girl and handed her off to her sister Rebby to raise in secret. Then there was a whole other theory that her brother Jackie's daughter, Brandy, who was adopted in '82, was actually her baby. And if that wasn't enough, folks even thought Randy Jackson's daughter Savannah was the mystery child too, just because she kinda resembled Janet. Something to think about. But Janet wasn't just fighting off rumors. She was also living through real mess in her marriage to James DeBarge. She kept it all the way real in her documentary and shared that their wedding night was not a fairy tale. She said after the ceremony, James told her, "I'll be right back." And then he disappeared for 3 hours, left her sitting alone in a hotel room in Michigan, 18 years old, fresh off her wedding, just waiting. That is not the life. Still, she said she tried to see the good in him. She wanted to focus on the love she had and the potential she saw, but even she had to admit she wasn't the one who could save him. His addiction struggles were way too heavy, and Sis was basically trying to be a wife and a therapist at the same time. Now, there were folks on her side. Debbie Allen, her famed co-star, came through in the doc like, listen, those baby rumors were flying around like hash in a diner, but where was the baby? Janet was with us all day, every day. Nobody saw no baby. And you know what? That actually makes sense. But here's the thing, even with Janet telling her side, some people were still side-eyeing her wording. Like, she never explicitly said, I did not have a baby. Instead, she said something like, keeping a child from James wouldn't be right. And when she got emotional speaking about James, people noticed that too. Like, why the tears now and not for the other exes? And let's not forget, James and his whole DeBarge clan are still holding on to their version of the story. They're out here saying, that baby did exist. Even James's daughter, Christina DeBarge, chimed in and said she believes she has a secret sister somewhere out there. Now, why would Christina, James DeBarge's own daughter, believe there's a secret sister out there unless somebody in the family let something slip? I mean, this ain't some fan conspiracy theory she picked up off Twitter. Christina sounded confident, not loud, not messy, but quietly sure. Like the kind of sure that comes from hearing something in the family kitchen you weren't supposed to hear, or seeing a photo that made you go, wait a minute. And she didn't stop there either. Sis went on record saying she would love to meet this mystery sister. So clearly this isn't just gossip to her, it's something she's emotionally invested in. And then boom, she drops another little bombshell by hinting that the Jackson family might have had a hand in making the baby vanish from the public eye. Now that's a major accusation. Basically, she's saying, look, Janet was young, her career was about to blow up, and the Jackson name carried weight. And with all that influence, yeah, it's totally believable that the family could have pulled some strings, silenced a few people.
I know that her family had a huge influence on her, and you know, if she was pregnant, the only thing that I can think of was that they felt that she still had a very long career ahead of her, and they didn't want anything to hinder that.
When Christina said that, she wasn't just tossing out a theory, she was planting seeds. Seeds that imply that behind all the glitz, glam, and control choreography, there might be a chapter in Janet's life we've never seen. But it wasn't just Christina DeBarge with questions and suspicions anymore. The whole DeBarge clan was talking. So first off, Bunny DeBarge, James's own sister, straight up said she saw Janet pregnant with her own eyes. Like, not somebody told her, not I read it in a tabloid, but saw the bump. And according to her, Janet was conveniently pulled out of the spotlight, and when she came back, no bump, no baby, no explanation. That's suspicious. That's weird. Now add in Christina's quiet confidence, Bunny's eyewitness tea, and here comes Daryl DeBarge, another sibling, saying the child exists too. At this point, it's like the whole DeBarge family has a group chat labeled, "Where's Janet's baby?" And then let's not forget James and his mama. James DeBarge's mother believed the baby was real so much that she participated in a whole DNA test with a woman named Tiffany White, who claimed to be Janet and James's secret daughter. But plot twist, DNA results said, nope, James wasn't the daddy. Still, James said he's not giving up. He's out here on some emotional Maury Povich journey, determined to uncover the truth. He really believes there's a child out there somewhere, and the fact that he's still on this mission after all these years, that man is either deeply convinced or he knows something the rest of us don't. Now here's where it gets real murky. Some folks say Janet may have had a miscarriage or even a stillbirth, and that's why she's never spoken in detail. And let's be clear, if that's true, that's incredibly personal and nobody should be pressuring her to relive that trauma. But at the same time, the rumors of a full-blown cover-up by the Jackson family, that's the kind of Hollywood secrecy that makes you wonder what else has been hidden over the years. Like, were they protecting her image? Was she forced to give the baby up? Or is this all just an elaborate tale cooked up by the DeBarges for clout? Can they all be lying? That's what's got fans divided. Some people say it's too many coincidences, while others are like, no baby means no story. Either way, this secret baby mystery is like a Lifetime movie waiting to happen. Some folks think Janet did have a baby, but she gave the baby to her sister to raise. One comment said, I am a 1977's baby. I will never forget the moment. My mother told me Janet Jackson had a baby, and her sister Rebe raised her baby baby, so if you want some dirt ketchup with the sister, she raised the baby. I am Debbie from Detroit. Have a blessed day." And another added, "When I was accounting school 1988, another student stated she worked for an accounting office and they did Janet's taxes, and she did have a daughter, but she didn't live with her. So yeah, we're in 2025 and still not sure about what is what. But now we want to hear from y'all. Do you think the DeBarge family is telling the truth? Or is this just a decades-long game of telephone gone wild? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I know this topic's gonna have y'all talking.